when a lone woman living in the deep forest suddenly stopped appearing in the village. A local hunter went to check on her house. On the forest path, he encountered a huge white she-wolf, a beast everyone feared, but no one dared to harm. Instead of attacking, the predator began whimpering strangely and pulling the man along. What the hunter discovered upon reaching the lonely woman's house shocked everyone. Deep in the dense forest, far from the city bustle, lived a forester's family, Valentina, her husband, and their young son. Their only protector was an unusual dog named Thunder, who resembled a wolf, a powerful animal with a penetrating gaze and independent character. Life flowed steadily until fate decided to test this family's strength. On that fateful morning, when the first rays of sun were just beginning to break through the dense foliage, Valentina went to the nearest village for supplies. Her husband and son were still sleeping when the fire started in the house. Flames quickly engulfed the wooden structure, and escape seemed impossible. But their faithful dog, instead of saving his own life, performed an incredible act. He rushed into the burning house. Through smoke and fire, he managed to find and drag out only the little boy. When Valentina returned, only smoldering splinters remained of the house. She found her son alive, sitting next to the burned but still living Thunder. Losing her husband and home was a terrible blow for the woman, but she found the strength to live on for her son's sake. After the tragedy, Valentina decided to move to the neighboring forest district. The new house was in an even more remote location, where bears and wolves were frequent visitors. Local residents warned her about the danger, but the woman had no choice. Working as a forester was all she knew and could do. The first months in the new place passed relatively peacefully. Thunder, despite his injuries, continued to faithfully serve his owners. However, one day the dog disappeared. His absence lasted several days, and Valentina began to worry seriously. The stress from all the experienced events began to affect her health. When Thunder finally returned, he brought an unexpected guest, a young white she-wolf. It was an incredible sight, a domestic dog and a wild beast walking side by side like old friends. The wolf, defying all laws of nature, stayed to live near the human dwelling. At first, she treated people with wariness and aggression, especially when Valentina tried to approach. But gradually, something began to change. The wolf grew weaker, and Valentina's experienced eye noticed signs of serious illness. The woman, risking her own safety, decided to help the wild animal. Using her knowledge and experience with domestic animals, Valentina began treating the wolf. Gradually, an amazing mutual understanding developed between them. The wolf, whom Valentina named White for her light coloring, accepted human care and responded with a loyalty that surprised even seasoned hunters. 4 months after her appearance, White gave birth to 3 healthy cubs. They grew up under the watchful eye of not only their mother, but also Thunder, who treated them like his own puppies. Thus formed an unusual family where the line between wild and domestic blurred. But fate prepared a new terrible test. One winter night, a starving bear broke into their house. Thunder was the first to rush to defend the family, but the forces were unequal. In that terrible fight, both Valentina's 8-year-old son and the faithful dog died, trying until the end to save the boy. Valentina buried her son and Thunder on a small hill near the house. Having lost her entire family, she withdrew into herself, almost stopping communication with people. The only creature that helped her stay sane in her grief was White. The wolf, as if understanding the depth of human suffering, never left the woman's side and took the place of the deceased Thunder, guarding the house and its owner. After the tragedy, news of Valentina and her unusual protector spread throughout the region. Local residents often saw the wolf following the woman steadfastly along forest paths. Even hunters, upon meeting White, would lower their rifles, recognizing in her the faithful guardian of the lonely widow. The tragic end to this story came suddenly. One morning, a local resident passing through the forest road in his cart met White. The wolf was behaving strangely, as if calling him to follow. Following her, the man came to Valentina's house and discovered that the woman had died from a heart attack. That night, the residents of the nearby village couldn't sleep. Wolf howls didn't cease until dawn. White was mourning her savior and friend. After Valentina's funeral, the wolf led her grown cubs into the forest, but the story didn't end there. 3 years later, hunters found White's body exactly where Thunder had been buried. She seemed to have come to die next to the one who had once led her to humans and taught her to trust them. Local residents, touched by this story, buried the wolf next to Thunder's grave. White's cubs grew up and created their own pack, which, according to hunters' tales, never attacked people or livestock. The local hunters, in turn, made an unspoken vow never to hunt these wolves, considering them sacred guardians of the forest. This story became a local legend, passed down from generation to generation. It teaches us that true devotion knows no boundaries between species, and kindness and mercy can melt even the wildest heart. In those forests, you can still hear stories about white wolves who come to help lost travelers, reminding us of the unusual friendship between humans and wild nature.